And boundaries like will set you free.
Oh my
They
gosh.
like
Yes.
it's a fence that ironically like sets you free.
I mean, just living my human design as an emotional projector, the boundaries that I have needed to set to protect my own energy. At first, I was just like, if I set all these boundaries, like, what the fuck am I going to be doing with my life? Because I'm going to have all this downtime to recharge and protect my energy. But once I was able to sink into that and really let myself enforce those boundaries with myself first off, and then others as well, oh my gosh, I have more energy. It has set me free. I am just like, now I can handle these things. I'm in a place to be invited, to be open to receive. So I really needed those boundaries in order to, up level myself.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love that because then you do feel safe to expand. When your unconscious knows and your soul and your highest self know that they're in charge, because they will step in and go, no, thank you here, and no, thank you there, and we're going to remove our energy from here. We're going to take care of ourselves. There's this and I hate the word fearlessness because there is a lot of fear, but there's almost this door that gets open where you feel the fear and there's this sense of I still got it, and I can show up for this that's way more effortless, I'd say, and in flow and in alignment than when we push through things that don't feel safe and try to expand and try to do the things that we're just not ready to do, before we're ready to do them.
Right. One thing with boundaries, do not push. Do not push your own boundaries. Try your best to not push on someone else's boundaries because you know how it feels like. But it's like you said, with that fear, it's the space. With boundaries, you are creating the space for yourself to experience, to feel, to process, to be when that fear comes up. And again, as an emotional projector, when that fear comes up for me, I really need to sit with that fear. My strategy is, with my authority, is to sleep on it. I need to let those feelings take their course and not make any decisions until then. So I really need the space so that I can make really good decisions that are in my best interest, that usually involve following through with boundaries too.
Yeah, absolutely. And boundaries are everywhere, guys. We got to get used to them. We got to for every aspect of our life, there are limits, right? On things and and we can expand those limits, but only if we feel safe and in control to do so.
When people say to me, I don't have any boundaries, I'm like, okay, well, are you eating yourself out of house and home? And if you like sugar, are you just binging on all the sugar you can get your hands on? Because that would be me if I didn't have my boundaries around food, because I love sugar and I just love snacking. So of course I would be sitting on the couch, being gluttonous, because why not? So I need the boundary for myself to not do that, because that is not in my best interest whatsoever.
Yes. And literally, I'm so funny. I have to put boundaries on myself for how many puppies I decide to take in. Or maybe it's more of a Devin boundary, but we have 4 now and I'm I could take 10 more. And I'm Gabby, no, you're going to be stressed out and burnt out and too much to do.
Right. But that's such a great point that not only is a boundary for yourself, but that's also a boundary in your relationship. Because if you have 10 dogs to take care of, Devin might be feeling a little left out.
Yeah, I agree. Because your girl has only so much time in the day, right?
Right. And then if we don't have space for ourselves because we're caring for, all the animals that we want to rescue and all of the people that we love in our lives, that's when we start to fall to the wayside. And I think it's safe to say we all know what happens when we stop taking care of ourselves.
Oh yeah, this was me recently. Actually, I was in launch mode. We have Ignite 5.0 coming up, and I was just had so much I wanted to say, and I was posting 4 times a day, and I was attached to my DMs, and I realized one day I haven't taken a shower in 3 days. I went in the pool, but I did not go in the shower, and I was oh my god, I'm getting a little depressed. I'm okay, I'm getting a little burnt out. That anxiety depression blend that is burnout started to creep in. But what it came to mind when you were talking about this is what happened next was yes, giving myself some limits, giving myself some boundaries, and saying no to working late or, like burning the candle at both ends, and saying no to those things allows me to have a space, like you mentioned, to say yes to more things for me. And that is what life is about, you guys. Like, we say no to other things so we can have that energetic space to be able to say yes to the things that we actually want. And if you don't know what it is that you want, or what it is that you value, or what it is that you want to make a priority in your life, sit the fuck down this weekend and get that list together. Because once you have that in front of you, then you can live your life in accordance with what's important to you and what you want to prioritize and what you want to invite in. Because when that's right there, and you see something that doesn't match with that list, you can say no to that. That's something you don't need.
Right. Yeah. And that's exactly what happened for me. A while ago, well, gosh, probably like last year, I was realizing, I'm on my phone too much. It doesn't feel good. I'm stuck in the scroll, so that's how I discovered I needed a boundary, because this wasn't working for me. So that's a lot of times where you can discover where you need a boundary, what isn't working. Mm-hmm. So I decided to unplug for the weekend. Over the summer, I've been taking Fridays off. So I unplug, meaning I do not open Instagram. I do not open social media. Sure, if someone texts me or calls me, I'm a bit more fluid with that. But there are weekends where my phone is off and away from Friday morning until Monday morning when I turn it back.
I see those. Like, don't you go camping and you're like out in nature? Oh my God. I live for those. And you're like, I am back. And then here's some photos. I'm like, oh, I love how you gave yourself permission.
Yeah, I needed that boundary. Being in nature, unplugging, just being with myself is so important for me. That was what I wanted. So in order to really get what I wanted and feel good about it, I have to unplug. I can't have those distractions. I can't have other people's energy. So unplugging and just doing what I want for the weekend allows me to come back Monday with so much energy, ready to go and ready to give myself, my mind, my spirit to all of my clients and everyone else.
Thanks for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this, click here to check out the full podcast episode. Click here to check out our full library of podcast episodes. And don't forget to hit subscribe so you can be the first to know when we're posting new ones. I'll see you soon.